the first question, candidates. I'm gonna mute you all. Now, if you wanna talk, right? Write it in whatever channel you have access to. I suppose debate stage general. Yeah. Let's start with opening statements. Who wants to begin? Okay. Environmental will start with opening statement.
Oh, thank you. Please do not mute me. I can mute myself. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
I
Anyway,
apologize.
opening statement. Hello there. It is I, Environmental Shelter. It is a pleasure to meet you all once again on this beautiful place known as SimDem Debate. I don't think I feel the need to repeat what I stand for and what I believe, but I will repeat it myself if you're not aware for. I am Environmental Shelter. I believe in the ideas of Glasnost, Perestroika, and Democracy. Now, what are those ideas of which I have currently mentioned? Well, Perestroika believes that the current government has a very large bureaucracy and it has gotten way too complicated for not only the people who work around state bureaucracy, but also for the people who are trying to get into our community. That's why Perestroika dealt with one simple problem. The problem was just needing to cut down the bureaucracy to a level that can be understood by the people so that we can easily get more people introduced into the beautiful place that is in democracy. Now, for Glassnode, it is it is as the name implies in English, openness. Glassnode stands for the idea of transparency. As it currently stands, me and another liar by the name of Emperor Demon are currently working on a bill that is called the Community Report Act or the Glassnode Act. This act tends with the idea of making it possible so that the government opposition will give reports to the people about their action. Along with that, we're also seeing if it will be possible to make certain chats that are normally not accessible to the people be well accessible to the people because there's some certain chats which are not any that are not, in our honesty, chat that should be closed off. For example, the Senate chat, who is who is closed off and as such nobody can see the tasks that go in there. And it is, in my opinion, a chat that should be allowed to be seen. And third, but last, it is democracia. Democracia is, as the name clearly implies, democracy. The idea is simple. Introduce workplace democracy. That is to say that in every department, instead of having the core position be put down by the president, it is elected democratically by members from inside every single department so that they select what they truly believe will be the best fit for the job instead for the president to select people to such position because such movement is obviously could lead to some ideas of nepotism and kleptocracy, but if it's elected through democratic means, it will only allow for people who are really apt for that job to take over. Plus, in case there's any fears of possible eternal leadership, we can now I am thinking of also introducing time limit for the department head as to ensure that the position is not always occupied by the same person for a lot of time. Anyway, that is my opening statement. Thank you very much, and please, I hope you have a fantastic day in this same damn debate.
Thank you, environmental. We will now move to Stalin's opening statement.
Hello, I am U/Joseph Stalin XD 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 XD. Um, I am running on trying to revitalize the economy. My belief on the economy should be is first off we need to get a budget, but what we should do is to kill two birds with one stone. We should fund community events through the government. Like we have a private company that gets contract by the government to host community events. I also believe in executive oversight. As a member of the Oversight Council, I think the second longest behind Euphoric only, who's been Supreme Court of Head of Justice for like a really long time. And yeah, I believe I am the best, or I have the qualifications to work on Oversight Council reports. That is all.
Okay, thank you, Stalin. We will now move to Mithros. Of opening statement.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm playing Bed Wars. That's my opening statement.
Is that your opening statement?
Yeah,
Thank you, Mithros.
no problem.
I'm gonna mute you if you don't mute yourself.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna mute myself. Give me a second.
Okay. Imad. Did you deliver your opening statement? No. It's in long statements. So for all the viewers and everyone who wants to watch said statement, it is in long statements. I'll give about a minute to just read, in case any of you are like bad at reading. I will read it out. Okay. Imad says, I am being epic and running for president once again. I have much experience in SimDem, being here for more than a year, and I believe this will help me in my goal. I have a concrete agenda and a way to accomplish this agenda, unlike a lot of candidates, and me and my VP John will work to implement it. I will make a Minecraft server. I already have someone that can host, and a server that can be used arranged. I don't know what that sentence means. I will make a stock market. I already have someone that has said they can make such a thing on the bot, and having it built into the bot will make the stock market much better. I will connect the economy to the Minecraft server so that the economy is more diverse and will make the economy much, three muches, more fun. I already have someone who can write such an API and will allow transfer of money between server and MC being Minecraft. As you can see, I have a concrete plan and the willpower to do it. If you have any questions for me about my goals, I encourage you to ask. That was Imad's opening statement. Thank you, Imad. Now, for the first question of tonight's debate, what do the candidates think about a reset amendment? The person who wants to talk, please at me or unmute yourself unless you're Mythos. Then you have to
What is the
at me.
question again? Pardon me, but I didn't quite get it.
My apologies. What do the candidates think about a reset amendment? Basically, amendment
No.
resetting the server.
I'm going to be honest with you, sir. I do not think that a reset will be the most wisest idea. Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand where people are coming from with such a thing. And while sure, the reset thing might seem like a great thing, I do not believe that reset would be the correct move for us. If we were to reset them, it would more likely cause it to die. And let's be honest here, I don't. We nobody wants them to die, but anyone who claims that for them to not die should have this reset thing should probably be ignored because reset will not help the situation. If anything, it will probably make it worse. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Environmental. Imad says reset bad. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Would any of the other candidates like to speak on the question?
Of course. Okay. Um, we can't reset. That's bad. That's yeah. That's my comment on it. But yeah, reset bad. Cause like all this work, it's gonna be thrown away and like nothingness, you know. And it's gonna be harder to blow up SimDem if it's reset.
Thank you, Mythos. Stalin, would you like Stalin or Panzer? Holy shit, I skipped Panzer's opening statement. I apologize.
No, Panzer actually left. Panzer wasn't actually on the opening statement.
Oh, okay.
He just came back.
No, they are.
That makes
They're
sense then.
they're here.
But Stalin or Panzer, would you like to speak on the question?
I doubt a reset amendment will pass. There's no way you can get the 2/3 majority.
All right. Thank
I
you.
mean, if you mean on the referendum, I can change that pretty quickly. Slash as for legal reasons.
Yeah, don't commit election fraud.
All right.
You're not my dad.
Myth, shut the fuck up. Panzer, would like to speak on the matter. Will you be speaking in text format or in using your voice format? Because if you'll be using your voice, then you can just mute yourself, unless you're okay. Then put it in long statements. Oh, you are. Never mind then. I will read Panzer's statement about the question once he has posted it. He may also write an opening statement if he wants to, and I'll read it at a later time.
Why is nobody speaking? What happened?
I'm waiting for Panzer to finish writing. Okay. Panzer says reset amendment based because we can reset Sindem and then run around like cavemen and say ooga booga. It will be funny for like 5 minutes. Thank you, Panzer. Uh,
I mean, I cannot debate it. That's an amazing idea.
yes.
Impressive thinking. Great
Uh,
shot.
Ooga
I do
booga.
not believe there is an army question in today's questions, but I may add it because that's probably a good idea. Anyway, the next question is the economy was recently removed. What do you think? What does the candidates think about bringing back something similar to the economy? And what would
I
you do
mean,
to improve it so that it doesn't get repealed like the last economy?
We did, yeah, we already did
I
bring it
mean,
back for the record.
yeah,
You did? My
on the
apologies.
Yeah,
record,
we
we
did
technically,
recently.
I didn't pick that up.
we
I
technically,
apologize.
It's okay, it's okay.
Boomer.
yeah, we did
I
bring back
believe
the
it's a law.
economy.
Yeah, it's a law, not a amendment, so it's somewhat easier to get repealed.
All right, but
Yeah, and this time there is no referendum to fuck it, like last time where it got fucked by a very slim minority.
yes. But all right, we'll just skip that. Would the candidates remove hate speech legislation?
Uh,
Abstain.
I do certainly believe in my free speech. You should be able to say whatever you want without getting arrested for it.
Yeah, but
All
would
right.
you remove hate speech legislation?
And like as president, I don't have the power to do it, but if there was a repeal hate speech law
Do
on,
you
I wouldn't
endorse
veto it for sure.
removing
I'd
hate
actively
speech?
support it.
Uh, long statement. Um, Imad about the last question, which I skipped because the comment was already implemented, was
Is
that
there a
his
question of what we
idea
would do with?
for connecting it to the MC server has a lot of merit, and that it will lead to a diverse economy and will allow more things for Tally to be spent on.
Would
Can I just talk about the economy?
Yeah, that's what I kind of
Yes,
want to. I want
let's
to mention
talk about
my
the
vision
economy.
for the economy.
I do not like. I actually I think the economy is a very good idea, but I think it should be abolished because chaos.
My
All right.
personal belief is that what we should do is we should use it to fund. We should have certain a bit of money to fund community events with it,
Okay.
and we can have prizes for the community events, which could also help the issue that Night I brought up of you have to work and be in the government to amass any sort of money. If we have community events that have like prizes with Tau, then you can still have Tau without being in the government.
All right. Thank you, Stalin. Um. Right. So how do you feel about recent appointments like Ghost for Secretary of Election, Mobile as Attorney General, and similar appointments?
I should have been SOE,
Okay.
SMH my head.
Apart
All
from
right.
that, Stalin, apart from that,
Sorry, Ghost,
I
I
do
love you.
believe
No homo.
I
Hello,
I
Ghost.
do believe that overall the appointment have been very well. Sure, Stalin didn't get the position that I do believe he should deserve. I do believe that the position is still on the hand of someone who is capable of working with it to the absolute needed amount. So yeah, I do think that the appointments that have been put right now are overall just fine.
All right. Thank you, Environmental.
I
Would
think Ghost is an amazing SOE, and I am sure they're gonna serve some democracy very well. But the thing is, if I was SOE, rigging the elections would be easier for me and my friends. So I think me as SOE would be better, would be a better choice than Ghost just for this little fact.
Mithros,
But
Mithros,
Ghost is an
Mithros.
amazing person, and they are doing a very good job in being SOE.
thank you.
Mithros, you do know that this is
I
being recorded, right? This is being
Yes,
recorded.
Oh yeah, I
So do
forgot
you
about
know
that.
that this is going to
Slash
be heard
ask
by
for
the
legal
people of
reasons.
Sindem?
Alright.
Slash ask for legal reasons.
Um,
Good. I
My
think.
candidates, shut up. Stalin, speak.
no, never mind.
Oh, okay.
I think they were good. They were
Alright.
good appointments.
Imad said they were good appointments. Ghost was a good appointment, and he says thanks for coming to this TED Talk once again. I'd like to remind you, Stalin, no, Imad, that this isn't a TED Talk. This is debate.
This is
Okay, but like,
sad.
who were the other appointments? I haven't like
Uh,
been on Sendem.
um,
Vlad the
Mobile for
Chad was
Attorney
appointed
Channel.
SOEX.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vlad Chad is SOEX.
hello, Vlad the Chat.
I
And
think it's good
Panther
that we gave.
says that he didn't like Ghost being appointed Secretary of Elections, not because Ghost isn't a good candidate, but because he doesn't think we should hold elections and feel we shouldn't have an SOE to begin with.
Wow,
I
Panther, I'm
love
right here.
Panther.
I'm literally the SOE for your Republic of Teenagers server.
Thank you, Stom. Uh, yes, Slimmy, you can ask questions at any point. DM'd why? My apologies, I got a DM. There we go. Okay. Um, if all questions are good on that, that answer is good on question, I will move on to the next one. Uh, Wick has grown a bother to many people in SimDem, and he's also illegal after repealment of the SDSD Act. Do any of you do you have any thoughts or ideas as to how to fix the issue that is Wick?
Remove Wick and let everybody spam and like raid the
Yeah.
server without any like anything to stop them. I think that is a very good idea.
Alright,
You know,
thank you,
I
Mythos.
I personally think we should have a security bot because I remember as president and like when you're like in charge of the national security, you'll think of Wick differently, like as a bot that can help you protect the server. As Secretary of State, as Director of Investigation, as well as President, I was pro Wick because because Wick can be watching servers 24/7 while puny humans can't, but Wick can.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you,
thing
Stalin.
is,
With that, yeah.
as former director of investigations, half of my job was unwicking people who got their poor asses wicked because wick is bad, you know. Plus, in the SDBI there was a raid or something, and like wick didn't do shit to stop the raid. So yeah.
Alright. Thank you,
Well,
Mythos.
I,
Environmental, would you like to say something?
I
I
wanted to
saw you.
respond to Myth.
Allow respond.
Um, well, we could get. I was looking at Wick v3. Mobile had a test server, and then dang, it is pretty good. It's pretty hard to break, and it is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
effective.
yeah. I'm aware, but like it's still in bug testing phase. But I think because of the quarantine, Fnac is gonna like finish it quicker or something.
I think we should look at the Wick v3.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't make people's jobs harder for them. Because like I mean, let's face it, like half of the unmutings and half of the work of the SDBI right now is unwicking people because the SDBI has shit nothing to do. And like hasn't had since I don't know, January.
Since
Alright.
Operation Rome, there hasn't been much to do. I hear.
I mean, in all honesty, I wouldn't say even January. I would say December.
Alright. Imad says Wick is good for security, but I hate him for the meme. And also, Wick 3 version 3 is good because it provides evidence for why it wicked people.
I'm going to be honest. As an idea and as a show, I do believe that Wix is a perfect tool. It is an amazing tool. That being said, as it currently stands, Wix is too much trigger happy. I do believe that we need either a bot that isn't so trigger happy, or at least we have to find a way that Wix doesn't go immediately jumping the gun and just removing people left, right, and center.
Yeah, you should talk to Bennett about that because Bennett can also like he can actually like change the parameters of wicking, how sensitive wick is and shit. So like I think you could talk to Bennett so Wick doesn't go haywire anymore.
That would be
Alright.
Just an
amazing.
idea.
You know what? I'm gonna put that down. Thank you very much. I will probably do it after the thing.
You're welcome.
Alright. Panzer says, I hate clankers. Wick is a clanker. He will be our first victim. We will round up all clankers, put them on trains, and send them to camps where they will be worked to death, or will be just straight up killed. Clankers are a plague to our society, and we would be better off without them. And I would like to
I
add
love you,
that this is
Panzer.
illegal due to the Detroit Become Human Act. Thank you,
I
Panzer.
love you, Panzer.
Panzer, you put your statements in long. You put your answers in long statements. Yes. Um.
Clankers equal bad. Up due to the left.
All right. Thank you. Now, if I if every candidate feels they've gotten to answer the question properly, I would like to move on to a viewer question from Slimmy.
Oh,
Uh,
care. Look at General. Look at General.
uh, are you a can? Wait,
Aries is a candidate. Yeah,
he is a
I'm his
candidate.
running mate. Yeah, I'm his
Then
running
I'll
mate.
let him in. Welcome, Aries. We've now moved on to the wait, how many questions are we? Five. We're now moving to a viewer question from Slimmy. Does SimDem take itself too seriously?
Sometimes yes, but sometimes not. If I'm going to be honest, I don't. I will say that Kingdom has its hit and miss. Sometimes it might take itself seriously. It might take something very much to heart. An example to that would be the first Fangate incident, which what happened with all the accusations, claims, and all of that thing, which turned the situation very seriously. But it does have its signs of absolute goofiness and non-serious matter. For example, okay, yeah, no, I cannot think of anything that is non-goofy. Pardon me.
Thank you, Marimetal. Would any of the other candidates like to say something on the matter?
I
Yeah,
personally
I
wish
think
SimDem took itself less seriously because I personally like, probably some of my more favorite moments on here is when we weren't serious.
yeah.
I
The
just
thing is,
enjoy the silly goofy nature sometimes.
yeah, I
And
agree
if we're
with
all
you,
taking
Yeah,
Stalin.
ourselves all serious, then
yeah. One of my favorite memories here was when Mook sat in the chat and played Who Let the Dogs Out for 4 days straight.
I
That is
left
your
halfway through that. I
point.
wish I could see that.
Oh, it's
He's
amazing.
doing another thing with like a sex survey or something. He's like just naming names in chat for
Mooklin,
like
our fellow mad
300
lad. Make Mooklin
picosexuals.
president, damn it. He would be the most
Oh,
active member.
Yeah.
what
Alright.
I
is
may
that
or may
voice?
not rig the
Jesus
elections against
fucking
Muslim
Christ.
slash has for legal reasons.
Thank you, candidates. Imad
No.
says,
I still want to answer. So,
okay,
yeah, Symptom is
Allah.
taken very seriously because, like, this entire thing is a hobby. You don't have to power hours of your day in it, and like, I'm not questioning anybody's life choices here. I'm just saying, like, if you actually power hours of your day in this simulation, you shouldn't expect other people to because they're simply not going to. I mean, most of the people. Also, people kind of get assholes, like because of simdem shit, and that's kind of bad. You should be a good person and like don't forget to mind that uh behind behind the screen there's also another person there. Like when you're talking in simdem and like being a fuck to somebody because of politics or because of party shit, I think you just should just like have the empathy to mind that there's somebody in the other side of the screen. Like you're talking to an actual person with actual emotions and actual problems. Sometimes even more than you know. You just I think it's very important to mind this, and people just don't most of the times. I'm not most of the times, like some of the times.
Thank you, Myth. Imad says,
You're welcome.
Simdem controversies from seriousness good. because that's the fun part of SimDem. Uh,
No, I made is wrong. I'm sorry, I made.
okay, moving on. Um, what is the most important area to improve in SimDem today, and why?
I would argue the economy is very underutilized and could be utilized much, much, much better.
Alright,
It's pretty
What was the
underutilized.
question? I couldn't
No one,
hear
I
it.
mean, like the economy, when it
w-
first came out with this big novel thing, and now like literally no one uses it.
alright, I'll repeat the question. What is the most important area to improve in SimDem today, and why?
Uh, eh, I think it's take interest seriously, in my opinion. Like just
Oh,
take
shit.
interest seriously in general.
Uh, yes. Panzer, regarding the last question, said that SimDem does take itself too seriously. Well, some members of SimDem take it too seriously. Me, for example, have taken this debate way too seriously. I have been preparing thousands of answers for the past 10 days. I really want to become president, and I think my work really shows but I have that comma, but I have taken it too far, and I feel like I should let loose and take debates like these less seriously. I also agree with everything Myth said, and Myth responded with, I love you, Panzer.
Can I respond to Pencer again?
Uh, yes.
I love you, Pencer.
Alright.
You're amazing.
Thank you, Myth. Thank you, Panzer. Goodbye, Ares. He already left.
I also have to leave as well, so goodbye.
Goodbye, Stalin.
See ya.
We now have, for the record, there is now 4 candidates here. Alright. Right. We are on the question of what was the most important to improve. Would any of the other candidates like to say something on that?
Not really. Apart from the economy, I do think that it does require a lot of work. If I'm honest, if the one thing that Sweden really need to work these things out, it probably is the economy.
Alright. Thank you, Environmental.
I think I don't know. Just like yeah. No, I didn't. I have no idea. Like just improve. Just improve. That just improve in general. Like just improve.
Alright.
Don't ask for details. Just improve.
Thank you, Myth. Uh, Moving on. The Panzer says we need to work on the economy
Why are no words
before
being
we all
said?
become filthy commies. Now moving on. 3 weeks ago, a group of conspirators committed election fraud, getting 6 fund members into the Senate. These conspirators, these conspirators have still not been tried for the courts. How
Try.
it's gone 3 weeks, and that's quite a while. So how would you what would you do to speed up this process of from catching someone to having them
Well, it is
indicted and
quite easy,
arrested?
really. That job is from the judiciary. The judiciary is not doing its goddamn job of grabbing all of those bloody bastards and putting them on trial. I do believe that we're gonna have to put some pressure on the bloody judiciary to do its goddamn job and grab every single one of those bastards who bloody did that rigging and make sure they know that law is against them and that they will learn that doing rigging and not only that, but taking a part of it and not telling nobody about it is not something they should do. It is simple as that.
Thank you, Environmental.
Can you repeat the question?
Um, so 3 weeks ago, as we all know, a group of conspirators committed election fraud. Goodbye, Mod. How and it's gone 3 weeks and they still haven't been any sort of trial for them. So what would you do to speed up this process and get more speed in the judiciary process?
I wouldn't because I would be indicted and like tried. What a
Thank you, Myth.
dumb question.
I did not expect election fraud here. Would any of the other would any of the Panzer said, quote, we should hire a legal hitman to kill them instead of putting them on trial. It will be quicker, it gets the job done, and It will be a bit of fun. Capital FUN. An environmental response to the gallows. Have to do the claps. Okay. The next question. How will you deal with the problem of inactivity on the subreddit after elections?
I've been doing this thing. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but have you heard of the National Revolution Radio? I do tend to post it on the subreddit. The idea mainly comes from both as a way so people know about me and my ideas, but also to try and make the server, goody Christ, the subreddit more active by having people, see my recording and respond to it and give their opinion on it. Granted, it is sadly being ignored, but hey, at least I'm trying over here.
Thank you, Environmental. Would any of the other two candidates like to comment on the question? I see a long statement.
I'm sorry,
Myth
but
said,
what's the
"Come kill
question?
me yourself or sit, Panzer." That was in regards to hiring illegal hitmen, as Myth recently committed election fraud, allegedly.
That is defamation, and I will.
No, I said allegedly. That's not defamation.
That is defamation. I will be
No,
suing you.
that's
Yes.
allegedly. You have allegedly committed election fraud. I will hold
Ah,
people at
okay,
gunpoint and
yeah.
force them to be more active. Thank you, Panzer. That's what he said in
I will
hashtag
help
long
Panzer.
statements. Myth said he will help.
She.
Sh- okay, Myth said that she will help Panzer.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Another viewer question coming in. Is SimDemocracy achieving its job of being a democratic subreddit? If not, is there a way to make this sub more democratic?
Well, I'll have the thing just for you, Chief. Now, as you all might be aware, I have this little idea I've been spreading around since November. This thing called democratia. Now, democratia is the idea of putting democracy in departments. For example, let's say, I don't know, the Department of Expansion or Secretary of Expansion. I don't quite remember the name, but it doesn't matter. But the idea is to put workplace democracy. That is to say, to make it so that the position of the leadership is elected through a democratic means by member of said position, and that the person that takes the position it can only be put by person of said job. As such, the idea of such system is to try to create not only a system where the people who know what they're doing are truly electing to a position, but also that the most logical and most popularly supported by said group is put into said position, who will surely do their job as they know about and as they rightfully so be aware of how to do it. And if there's any fear of possibility of, a person staying there for too long, I wouldn't mind also adding possibly term limit to such position to assure that the democratic process it is as swift and understandable and democratic as possible.
I think
Thank you, Armin.
this is a terrible idea.
Myths. Okay, thank you, Mythros.
Can I answer
Panzer.
why?
No. Yes, you may.
No, okay. Uh, I think democratizing every single department is simply not necessary, Because, like, let's take the Department of Archives, for example. I don't think Department of Archives needs to democratically elect their leader. First of all, that would be a massive chore. Second of all, if the sub happens to get bigger, or if the sub is going through a very partisan period, I think parties could get in the way of like efficient making the departments efficient and making the best. Because like the leader who not always the person who has the most popular uh, approval is the best leader possible. I think party politics, for example, is a factor that should be factored in, and I think it could in the end it would only harm the departments or whatever it's applied on. It only crippled its efficiencies. So I think it's unnecessary and like I don't think it's a very good idea. And no, yeah, no, nothing against you, environmental, but I think that's a pretty bad idea. No offense.
Environmental says not every department, just some departments. For this democratic election thing. And he also says small correction there, but understandable. Panzer says that we should be working on making the sub less democratic. We need a fearless dictator who will lead the sub to greatness. There's also like a love triangle going here with myth and environmental and Panzer. Anyway, moving on to the next question, which is
Okay.
my second to last question that I have prepared. How will you ensure that misinformation about the COVID-19 pandemic will not be spread either in the subreddit or in the Discord server?
Abstain.
Well,
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Thank you,
I mean,
environmental.
with actual information. I mean, if somebody says the COVID is just a bad flu or something, or it isn't gonna spread too much, I'm just gonna show them the facts because the facts are normally undeniable. I mean, they should be, but they most of the times they aren't. Also, I would like to rant about people who do not understand basic exponential functions, especially in my country. That's my rant. I'm not gonna rant here. I'm sorry. See ya.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not going to leave. I'm just angry
Yeah,
at people who
I
don't
understand.
understand.
Thank you, Mythos.
You're welcome.
Yes, okay. Panzer, would you like to say anything on the question? If if you'd like that, then type something. Panzer says no. All right. Moving on then. The last question that I have prepared. What do the candidates think about a SimDem Minecraft server?
I would
I don't
hack on
really
it.
care.
Environmental doesn't really care.
I mean, I wanted to play. I want to play Minecraft with my homies at SimDem. But like, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I mean,
Thank
I'm
you,
going to be
Mythos.
honest.
Thank you.
I don't have Minecraft. I have never actually played Minecraft. I'm more of a strategy player person. So if there anything of game wise that I would probably do, I probably try to set some tournament for game like Hearts of Iron or Company of Heroes 2. Especially Company of Heroes 2. That game is fantastic.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, environmental. Panzer, would you like to say something on the question? Panzer is typing. I will allow him to type. So much love in this chat.
Yeah, we just straight vibing here. We
Yeah,
just
we,
we
we do
just
be vibing.
vibing.
Right.
We be vibing though.
Yeah, we be kind of vibing though. We be
We do
kind
be
of
kind
vibing.
of vibing.
We do be kind of vibing.
Alright. Still waiting for. Right, okay. Still waiting for Panzer's answer. There we go. Alright. Panzer says SimDem Minecraft server would be great because you could actually force people to vote for you during elections by violently killing them over and over in the Minecraft server. And that is just one of the many possibilities that the Minecraft server would create. Thank you, Panzer. I have no more questions prepared. Uh, I'll open for any viewer questions before we move to closing statements. Or any more viewer questions. I see Slimmy is typing, so I will wait while he finishes typing.
Good. Oh, long statement.
Long statements, alright. Environmental says, friendly reminder, this is being recorded. So, big brain thinking. And Mythos says, okay. Thank you, both candidates. Slimmy is typing. Slimmy has asked, how much should a party be involved when it comes to electing candidates to the Senate? Example, proportional
Well,
representation. Does this negatively affect independence?
I'm going to explain it the way that the Communist Party of Same Unity does it. On the Communist Party of Same Unities, we elect a candidate for president every month between all the factions that compose the party itself. In that process, the idea is to put a candidate where all of the party believe that they would, believe could do great in the election. That being said, they are not entirely forced to vote for that candidate. On the other hand, they can vote for any other candidate, even if they have any disagreement on it. But they do. Pardon me. Good day. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm just feeling a
No
bit
worries, no worries.
Anyway, like I was saying, the community parties and communities elect people every month who they believe who will become the leader of the party and also the candidate of the election. So that person who they I know I need to die but I'm fine. Who that person will of course be representing the party in the election. That being said, they are not entirely forced to, vote for it. As such, when they come to the election, the members of the community people of same unity will not be forced to vote on their presidential candidate, and they can more openly vote for anyone else. After all, it is their choice, and as a perfect democracy that we are trying to build, it is their right to vote for anyone else.
Thank you, Environmental. Would any of the other candidates like to comment the
I
question?
think partisanship is bad because, like, yeah, just bad. Look at the PP, for example. People really didn't like the system they put on the last Senate. Like, whipping was used. I mean, I could just be talking shit out of my mouth here by saying the people didn't like it, but like I personally didn't like it. I really do not like partisanship, like extreme partisanship, and I think that is not the best for SimDem, and I think that leads to corruption and just like toxicity in general. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Thank you, Mythos. Panzer has abstained from answering the question. Ghost asks, what other platforms should SimDemocracy colonize, and besides Discord and Reddit, as we already colonize? Would any candidates like to answer the question?
Nah, I don't think we have to really go to any other place. I think we're doing just fine.
All right, thank you, Environmental. If none of the other candidates would like to answer, the Panzer will answer. I will give him a second to type. Uh, After this, I believe we will be moving to closing statements. Yes. So you can ask another question. Panzer says we should expand to Snapchat, so when we send feed pics to each other, we can put a cute filter on it easier. Thank you, Panzer. Slimmy's final question. Uh, yeah, the final question of tonight. From Slimmy. He says, "I am a new member here. Parentheses. I just joined today, and I have the role. What's the best way for me to be involved?"
Well, for starters, welcome to this place. I hope you have a fantastic day over here. And second of all, if you really want to getting around the area, I would recommend considering joining the army for of all places. I started my career really on seeing them on the army. In fact, my first work on the play was the new military act, which was the act that practically entirely overhauled the army to what it's more or less what it is today. So, if you really want to go to a place where you think you could begin working and getting around seeing them, I would honestly recommend going into the army.
Thank you, Environmental. Would any of the other candidates like to comment the question? I see Panzer is typing, so I will wait to see what that is before continuing. Panzer says, "Do what I did and just troll in general forever, and soon you will make a couple of friends, and then you can begin rising through the ranks of SimDem with a few friends supporting you, and soon you can become a dictator like I soon will." Right? Oh, I didn't see that question earlier. My apologies, Vlad the Chad. We will have one more question as I missed it earlier because I am blind. Vlad the Chad asks, we don't have any money to pay public servants. How will this change?
Abstain.
Environmental
What do you
abstains.
mean
Panzer
we
is
don't
typing.
have any money?
Myth says what?
What do you mean we don't have any money?
Uh, Myth asks, what do you mean that we don't have any money? Would you like to respond by what you mean by that, Vlad the Chad? Panzer says, public servants will work for no pay or die. It's their choice. Thank you, Panzer. I am liking your vibe. Vlad says, at least my department's accounts, so I'm assuming every department's. and he's
But
the
like, what do you
Secretary of
mean?
Expansion.
Do you literally have no like? Is your car are your coffers like zero?
According to the Secretary of Expansion, the Department of Expansion has no funds.
How? Why?
He says
I think
exactly
the budget
zero.
hasn't been drafted yet.
That is entirely possible. Now, if all candidates have answered, no, which no one has actually answered properly, we will be moving to closing statements. Who would like to start?
Please, it's a pleasure to have you all here and talk with you all here. I hope you all had a fantastic time hearing about us and hearing about our wonderful ideas. If you wanna hear more about me, please go towards the National Evolution Radio. We do our radio every month or so, where I talk about any sort of thing over and give my opinion on it. If you want any news coming from the party itself, don't forget to read the Pravda. Well, not read really. Hear the Pravda, another radio show hosted by Emerald Demon, who does a fantastic job and do even more work than I do. I hope you all have a fantastic day, good night, or good morning, depending on when you're watching it.
Thank you, Environmental. Mythos, would you like to
Yes.
give say your
Yes.
closing statement? Then do that.
That was it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
just
Your
kidding.
your closing statement is yes.
I would like to wish Environmental also a very good night because he's a very nice person.
Thank you, Mythos. The final closing statement from Panzer. He says, "I will take away all civil liberties, but I will look fucking badass while I do it. I'll also be doing it with Jesus as my vice president, so that will just add to the badassness of my presidency. If you don't vote for me and Jesus, you will go straight to the gulag. You will then die in the gulag and go to hell. So in short, voting for me is in your best interest. Thank you, Panzer. Thank you, candidates, and good night or morning or middle of the day, depending on your time zone. This has been the SimDem 30th presidential debate. I think that's correct. I have been your host, Owl, and this has been your debate.
Me when I stub my toe. Ow.
Very cool, Mythos. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you for coming.